Dear viewers, I had promised to you that I'll come back to you with concrete foreign policy issues week after week. So, this week, let's talk about country's foreign policy, India's foreign policy. Now, as you know, the foreign policy of any country is protection and promotion of its interests. There are certain permanent interests, there are certain immediate interests, and foreign policy deals with it. The real test of any country's foreign policy comes in the time of crisis. So, readers, there's famous Indian poet Goswami Tulsidas who wrote Ramayana, which is revered in India. He talks that real test of a friend of your patience or of your wife is in the time of crisis. Now, I am talking about Indian foreign policy because from the immediate, the crisis that confronted us, the challenge that confronted us was when a terrorist attack took place in month of April in the beautiful city of Pahalgam, where innocent Indian tourists were killed by terrorists. It was a tragedy that struck us. And the government of India rightly thought that it needs to be retaliated. The terrorists like this will not go on. Pakistan, which sponsors terrorism, must be told in no uncertain terms that we will not tolerate it. And that is why India decided to launch the Operation Sindoor. I'm not going into the politics of Operation Sindoor, but Operation Sindoor was launched. It continued for 4 days. We struck at terrorist camps, at the strongholds of terrorists, dismantled them, destroyed them. Pakistan retaliated, and ultimately, after 4 days, on May of 10th May, there was a ceasefire which was claimed by the US President Donald Trump that he prevailed upon India and Pakistan to agree to a ceasefire. Yes, Pakistan DGMO called Indian DGMO, and the ceasefire was agreed upon. But before that, Donald Trump, in his social media platform, had declared and announced that the two countries have agreed to a ceasefire. Now, the real test came when the Operation Sindoor was launched. No country came into openly supporting India. India and Pakistan were equated. Donald Trump, for whom our Prime Minister Narendra Modi campaigned and called my dear friend, he said openly that both India and Pakistan are good countries. Not only that, Pakistan succeeded in getting an IMF loan. In the grey list, we have not yet been able to get Pakistan again on the blacklist, grey list.
Pakistan succeeded in getting to the chairmanship of the two important committees on terrorism at the United Nations. Now, we had to, we decided to send four delegations to 36 countries to inform about our stand on terrorism, Pakistan, etc., etc. Now, this was the situation, this was the real challenge. Prime Minister Modi has been 11 years in power and he has been de facto foreign minister of this country. There have been, for name, foreign ministers like Sushma Swaraj, like S. Jaishankar, a diplomat. But nothing moves without the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's consent. So he is effectively steering the Indian foreign policy. Now, Indian foreign policy at this time of crisis, in my assessment, we were standing alone. Now, why are we why are we failing to have friends in the time of crisis? This needs real introspection. Now imagine, even in the time when China attacked India in 1962, for which the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, is being accused, has always been accused of. And though he was not in any camp, that means the Soviet camp or the US-led camp, still US came and stood with India. Now, today we are fourth largest economy in gross terms, though we are a poor nation, there's no doubt about that. Poverty has been rising, no doubt about that. Yet, we were found standing alone. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited over 80 countries. He has been constantly on move. But when the crisis struck us, nobody categorically stood with us. Now, why? Even in our neighborhood, Pakistan, I can understand. Pakistan, we are rightly accusing them of sponsoring terrorism. We are rightly trying to isolate them. We are not having any dialogue with them. I can well understand. The government of the day can decide course of action. But what about Nepal? What about Bangladesh? What about Sri Lanka? What about Bhutan? Now, all these countries did not come categorically with us. Nepal is slowly but surely moving towards China. They will not be, the railway line has been built. They will not be dependent on you for their exports. In Nepal, you tried to muscle them. No. Problem has been that the government of the day strongly believes that problems can be resolved, solutions can be found through use of force, through use of muscle power. Imagine we sent officers of IB and RAW to Nepal to deal with them. Instead of sending a political person, the government of the day decided to send, to give them a message. Another thing, when government of the day is seen favoring some certain industrialists, certain businessmen, promoting their interest abroad, then the government is not respected. The other countries with which you are seeking favors for that industries, those countries will not look towards you with respect. This has been happening. These are our weaknesses. Any government must avoid. I'm not saying that this government or that government, the previous government has not done. But one thing can be said with certainty, that they have not done so brazenly, so openly as the present government. What happened? You saw that in the time of crisis, he was standing alone. Now, in coming weeks, I will be taking up other issues. Why I began with this? I began with the present to take my viewers, to take our subscribers in confidence where we stand today and what should be done. We have one of the best officers in the Indian foreign policy, and they should be properly utilized. Their services must be taken full benefit of. But once we start playing politics, like, giving extensions to foreign secretaries, to other officers. See, extension of service means you are telling those who may be sitting at that post next that you are not worthy of it. Now, why do you give extensions? Because they look after your personal interests. I'm saying it because these are our weaknesses and it should not be happening. And I am talking, in a sense, the information that I get, what I read. Imagine, did we know that a coup is going to take place in Bangladesh? What was our diplomats doing, foreign policy doing? So, I will be with you week after week with one issue or the other. Today, we have discussed all these issues. If you like it, subscribe it. If you have comments, give it to us. I will be enriched with that and share with friends. Thank you so much for today. Namaskar.